I don't think it would have done that if it was.
It's good to have you here.
It's good to be here,
So I know the shows always sell out. Are they sold out yet?
I don't know.
Because I've gone to a lot of your shows, and there's always cars outside the parking lot.
There, if they know that the Alex Jones is going to be there, more people will show up.
Oh, yes. No, actually.
Well, you're the video of you going on stage during Stanhope's show, the beginning of Stanhope's show, that's a classic, you know. If you have people who haven't seen it, a bunch of drunk people started heckling Alex. Alex went on to bring up Doug Stanhope, and it turned into a full-blown, 30-minute, conversation about the New World Order, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like that. It's pretty wild. It was fun stuff. Have you seen it? Why are they playing music?
We're going to break, Joe.
Okay. That's a little hint, huh? Yeah. It's like, wrap it up, stupid.
People across the street saw Joe. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, and they came running across to see him. You got fans everywhere.
Oh, well, that's nice. I like Austin.
It was like swooning women, like you were Elvis, throwing their clothes at you.
We saw one big fat one on a scooter.
And stay there.
Keep your eye on that building. It'll be coming down.
The building is about to blow up. Move it back.
All right, guys.
We are looking back. There's a building about to blow up. On flame. Debris coming down.
Just in the last few seconds, another building, building number 7, one of the buildings in support of the World Trade Center towers, has collapsed.
Okay, guys, back that up to the first again, and there's literally scores of these clips. This is police saying, get back, they're bringing it down, it's coming down. And I heard that on CBS radio that day, but then we have the news clips where BBC reports it's fallen before it fell.
Yeah, I read about that.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll the clip again from the start for everybody, where the police are saying, get back. And then I've interviewed Craig Bartmer and other police officers who were there, and they said, they walked up to FEMA and said, what are you doing? And they said, countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, run for your lives. There was a countdown on the radio to blow up 7. Let's go ahead and play it. Here it is.
Keep your eye on that building. It'll be coming down.
The building is about to blow up. Move it back.
All right, guys.
We are looking back.
Okay, so that's 3 different police saying, keep your eye on it. The whole thing's about to come down. It's about to blow up. Get back. And then we went and found police officers that were there. We also have a Democracy Now! Show where they were live when it happened.
Okay, but isn't it possible, is it possible, rather, that those cops were saying that the building's going to fall because it was about to collapse? Because it was just on fire?
No steel building had never collapsed from fire until 3 that day.
That's true. Yeah.
No. And then we have Silverstein saying we made the decision to pull it, gave the order, and watched it come down.
So you believe that the reason why they brought this down was whatever documents they had in there were very incriminating, and they had gotten away with a lot of different, a lot of corruption, and that's why they brought that down, because it just makes everything else disappear.
Well, they picked a site where they could destroy a building and then cover up their evidence during another attack they were using as a pretext to launch wars.
So you firmly believe that the attacks on the Twin Towers were premeditated by the United States government in order to bring us into war?
I believed it 8 years ago on 9/11, that night you came on.
Yeah, you did. It's fascinating, really, when you think about it, because, everyone, this is the main problem with conspiracy theories. The number one problem is that when you bring them up, you look foolish. So people don't even want to bring up the possibility that they exist. But when you look into U.S. history, you look into the Gulf of Tonkin, you look into the Northwoods document where they were planning fake terror attacks on American civilians in order to get us into a war with Cuba from 1962. When you look into that stuff and you realize that everything evolves, science evolves, culture evolves, and, corruption evolves too. The corruption that is that deep that could run the government, the corruption that can kill Kennedy, the corruption that can fake wars or fake attacks rather to bring us into war like they did with the Gulf of Tonkin and brought us into Vietnam, that doesn't go away. It gets bigger and stronger. As long as it isn't exposed, as long as some massive arrest didn't take place and hundreds and thousands of people were brought to justice and paraded out on television. No, the biggest corruption ever was Watergate. And what was that? He was spying on some other people. That's it. That's
and now we just expect the government to spy on us.
But if you compare that to what we know has taken place, just the Gulf of Tonkin, Just that, the fake attack that brought us into the Vietnam War. Just the idea that the Northwoods document was actually signed by the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They sat down and they said, yes, we agree. This idea of fake terror attacks on American civilians is a good idea. People are going to die for lies, for theater that they're going to create. They're going to create these, the fake Cuban attacks. I mean, that's scary, scary stuff. And if no one was brought to justice, and they weren't, it's not like that stopped and everybody just got a conscience and met in the parking lot and all held hands and sang Kumbaya and decided, well, we're not going to be douchebags anymore. We're going to be nice the way we run the world. There's no way. That's not what happened. And, people don't want to look at the possibility that our government is involved in some really scary, really shady stuff that involves the death of our own citizens for profit. People don't want to look at that, but it is possible.
Absolutely.
It really is possible.
And 30 years ago, even a decade ago, they called it a conspiracy theory to say the Gulf of Tonkin in 1964 was a conspiracy theory. Now it's been declassified. The LBJ tapes have been released. They did stage the whole thing. And 58,000 Americans died and over 1 million Vietnamese. So
the History Channel has said that the United States had advance warning about Pearl Harbor and that they allowed it to happen to bring us into World War II. That was on the History Channel. Not that it means anything. Ari Shafir, I think you need a microphone if you want to speak to the entire world.
Hey, we can hook another mic up.
Stoned ass bitch forgot he was on the radio. How dare you? How dare you, Shafir?
We need to get Homeland Security in here and arrest him.
I know. He's carrying illegal drugs in his system right now.
Did you hear?
Illegal nature.
Did you hear
what?
That Homeland Security put out a report? We got it and released it. We'll come back and talk about it after this break. Where they admit that their main threat is conservatives, gun owners, libertarians, and veterans, and the whole police state grid.
Well, those are the people that are organized. Hippies will complain, but veterans,
stay there.
Frozen food out in the desert.